Hello, this is your virtual life coach, Michael Lewis. Secret star. Once, not so very long ago, there was a secret star. It lived down the block a ways, just by the tall tree near the big red house. Naturally, nobody noticed it, for who would expect a star to live down the street a ways, just by the tall tree near the big red house? Nevertheless, it did. And the people who lived on the street would walk past it on their way to work in the morning, and again on their way home in the afternoon. And the children who lived on the street would run and skip past it on their way to school in the morning, and jump and hop past it on their way home in the afternoon. And nobody noticed the secret star in the neighborhood. And so it remained a secret star. Now, a certain little girl lived in the same neighborhood as the secret star. Just like the other children, she went to school every morning and came home every afternoon. But with this big difference. Each morning, when she ran and skipped to school, she ran and skipped a bit slower than the other children. For if she ran and skipped too fast, how could she keep track of the leaves on the trees along the way? And each afternoon, when she jumped and hopped home from school, she jumped and hopped just a bit slower than the other children, for if she jumped and hopped too fast, how could she keep track of the petals on the buttercups along the way? It was in this way that down the block a ways, by the tall tree near the big red house, she saw the secret star. It was sitting there munching an apple. As usual, nobody had noticed it, and the secret star, noticing that someone had noticed it at last, looked at the little girl with mild surprise and blinked twice. Stars don't talk. And the little girl looked at the secret star. She didn't know quite what it was exactly, and she didn't know quite how it was exactly. She just knew that it was, and that was fine for the time being. And she picked up the secret star and took it home. And here is what happened. The secret star showed the little girl how to ride air currents and play tag with the clouds at nighttime, and soar way above the rooftops of the neighborhood and look down on the sleeping city. The secret star showed the little girl how to make herself teeny small, and how to glow and flicker and laugh like real stars do. Then become smaller still and become a twinkle in a child's eye, which is a kind of a star too. The secret star showed the little girl how to glide on ripples in a brook and race moonbeams, and how to pat a butterfly. The secret star showed the little girl how to see what a song looks like, how to hear the sound of a sunset, and how to know what a rainbow is thinking. And through it all, the little girl didn't know quite what was happening exactly, and she didn't know quite how it was happening exactly. She just knew that it was happening, and that was fine for the time being. And she was very happy. And the secret star was very happy and blinked twice. Stars don't talk. By and by, the little girl told some people about the secret star. "I have a star," she said. "Ha," they answered, and added, "Stars live in the sky." They nodded at one another, very satisfied with that. "I found him down the block a ways," she said, "just by the tall tree near the big red house." "Ha, ha," they replied. "There are no stars by that big red house, or by the tall tree, or even down the block a ways. We checked there for stars just this morning, and there are absolutely none. So we know." And on that last word, "no," which also too often means no, they nodded at one another a second time. "He was eating an apple," she said. "He showed me how to twinkle." "Ha, ha, ha," they said. And by now they were nodding at each other a third, fourth, fifth, and 17th time. Just your imagination. When the little girl got home, she found the secret star sitting in her room, sipping apple juice through a straw. "Stars live in the sky," she said to the star. The secret star stopped in the middle of a sip, looked puzzled, and faded slightly. There are no stars by that big red house or by the tall tree or even down the block a ways. I checked there for stars just this morning and there are absolutely none, so I know, she said to the star. The secret star took one more sip, blinked twice, looked very sad, and faded a bit more. You're just my imagination, she said to the star. The secret star looked very sad indeed, put down the apple juice, and without a word, stars don't talk, faded completely out of sight. There, she said, nodding a first, second, and 17th time. I knew all along it was just my imagination. And then she wondered why she felt sad. Now, we may have had to put the end to this story right there if it wasn't for one more tiny little thing. And here is what it was. You see, the secret star had left something behind just before fading away. Stardust. It was all purple and silky and of the sky and the night, and not at all like regular dust, which makes you sneeze and blow your nose. The little girl looked at the stardust as it snuggled about her feet and swirled up and around her. She didn't know quite what it was exactly, and she didn't know quite how it was exactly. She just knew that it was. And that puzzled her because for something that was just her imagination, it sure felt real. Just then, a friend walked in the room and saw the little girl in the purple stardust. What a pretty purple dress, said the friend. Thank you, said the little girl, thinking, of course, it's my pretty purple dress. How silly of me to think it was something else. And she didn't think about it again. Days passed. By and by, the tall tree by the red house changed its green dress for something more orange and red. By and by, the air grew frosty and cold. By and by, the tall tree by the red house got tired of wearing orange and red, or for that matter, of wearing any clothes at all. By and by, white pillow feathers began to sprinkle down from the sky, dressing the tall tree by the red house in sparkles and ice. But then, by and by, the sky became blue again, and the tall tree decided on a whole new wardrobe of pink and green to go with the new blue sky. And the little girl kept her pretty purple dress and wore it every chance she got. And everywhere she went, people admired her pretty purple dress. Still, something wasn't quite right. She didn't know quite what it was exactly, and she didn't know quite how it was exactly. She simply knew that it was, and that it bothered her. It bothered her so much, in fact, that she tried to notice other things just to keep her mind off of it. She noticed a leaf on a tree. She noticed a petal on a buttercup. She noticed herself noticing things, and she began to wonder. She wondered about how it must be like to ride air currents in clouds at nighttime, and what fun it must be to soar above the rooftops and look down on the sleeping city. She wondered how it must be to glow and flicker and laugh like a star, and where the twinkle in a child's eye comes from. She wondered how it must be to glide on ripples in a brook and race moonbeams, and how to pat a butterfly. She wondered what it must be like to see a song, hear a sunset, or know what a rainbow was thinking. And one day, down the block a ways, by the tall tree near the big red house, the little girl saw the secret star. It was sitting there eating apple-flavored yogurt. It looked at the little girl with mild surprise and blinked twice. And the little girl looked at the secret star. She didn't know quite what it was exactly, and she didn't know quite how it was exactly. She simply knew that it was, and that was fine for the time being. And she picked up the secret star and took it home. And the little girl was very happy, and the secret star was very happy, and blinked twice. Stars don't talk. That's all I have for you. So Love each other, take your vitamins, observe posted speed limits, and never lose sight of who you are. Never, never, never lose sight of who you are. So long for now.